Okay, let's go. Let's go back. Okay, this one's bound to be a banger. Let's go.
Be an important factor in said game. This is because you'll want a good note to end a good game on.
True.
And because it's usually the last thing you remember in a game. So if the game's finale is really cruddy, that's not necessarily going to ruin the game, but you'll be left with a very insulted and empty feeling. In case some people are expecting the ending to Mass Effect 3, I haven't played it. And one more thing.
He just seems to have not have played anything.
I may have some very controversial opinions on this list, so be warned. So anyways, time to go through this.
I haven't heard crud in years. Top 10. Alright, we got it.
The first
Spoilers for what? A Hat in Time? I've already played A Hat in Time. Okay, I beat that game. That game was
but it
great.
ends up being rather lackluster. I don't hate it with a passion like some of the later entries on the list, but here we go. After you beat the Alpine skyline, the mustache girl who helped you at the beginning of the game makes her way to your spaceship.
Wasn't the ending like you can choose to help her or you can choose to like fucking just dip? I thought this was a serviceable ending. It wasn't the worst end. Least favorite? Okay, well you got...
She breaks into the vault and steals every timepiece that you worked hard to get so that she can put an end to all the bad guys. But she thinks that everyone is evil, and as a result, the world gets turned into a magma-covered wasteland. Good concept held back by not-so-good execution. So, after an admittedly neat final level, you finally reach Mustache Girl, and you fight her. The first phase is pretty annoying, but nothing terrible. But then, we get to hear the pleasure of hearing the words, "Get lost," over and over and over and over again. But
what do you mean, mate? It's this cool moment where, like, you know, everyone links together to be the... Every bad person links together to go, "You're worse than us. Fuck you." What do you mean? It's not like... It's not cinema, but it was kind of cool to see everyone go, "Do you know what? We hate you even more, you dumb little girl. Get out of here."
Nothing to complain about the other two things. One for the
This ends now. She plays Overwatch.
The horrendous visuals. Warning. Those of you who are epileptic or prone to seizures, please look away now. The background is rapidly changing bright colors, which will give seizures to people who are sensitive to that.
Okay, but like, if you don't have, you know, photosensitive epilepsy, does it... Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a little sensitive to flashing lights. I'm not like epileptic or anything, but like if there's flashing lights, it can get a bit, it can give me a headache, it can trigger my migraines. I don't remember this being that bad. Yeah, what's happening here, lads?
Why would they do such a thing? Anyways, after the second phase, now all the enemies that you beat in the game now sacrifice themselves after realizing that after they die, it provides you with hearts that restore your health. I know this is a satire of those moments in video games where a lot of people give you the motivation you need to beat the final boss.
Yeah.
It feels kind of forced. And then...
But, you know, how long was this? Oh, I can't even say this was like 10 years ago. But like, no, my God. Come on, man. This was funny. It was funny. It was, I'm going to say it. It was charming.
The last phase
it was charming.
And if the flashing lights in the second phase didn't hurt your eyes, in this phase, they almost certainly will. Did the developers of this game even think of that? Haven't they heard of things like Electric Soldier Porygon or Problem Solvers? Even as someone who doesn't get seizures from this, my eyes still kind of hurt from it, and I've heard that these kind of seizures can kill people. That makes me really mad, and it would have been
Guys, yesterday I was at McDonald's, and I had some food, and you know what, I was just like fucking fuming. I was like mad, champ, I was mad. And then my friend came up to me and said, "Musty, why are you mad?" I'm eating this funky burger, which firstly I thought was Evil Burger. And then secondly, every single time I take a bite, starving kids in Africa, they will not get to enjoy the absolute mediocrity that is a mayo chicken. It's just too much. I can't handle it. The whole meal is ruined. That's how I feel. But I feel elated with Mr. Alpha Eagle once again at $5.99. Thank you so much, man. I think I remember this video. Someone made a commentary on the worst video game endings, criticizing his points. But is there drama in the top 10 countdown community? Is that what this is?
a lot higher, except this is the only thing in this finale that I can...
Oh, was it there? Benjamin, were you there? Am I just like getting... I love this idea that like this is like Benjamin Age's childhood, and I'm just like an outsider looking in. You know, it's like if I saw, it's like if I showed my, it's like when should I say? Because I've done this. It's like when I showed my fucking like fiance, what's it, Angry Video Game Nerd for the first time. She was just like, "What is happening right now?" And I'm like, yeah, you see, so why is the AVG not reviewing Batman? What is happening? No, you see, he dresses up as Batman, and then his friend Mike dresses up as the Joker and ties him up and forces him to play the games. That's why it's, and he does the funny laugh. No, why doesn't he just review the game? That's what we're here for, right? No, he has to dress up, and then it's funny, okay? Oh, this is brilliant, honestly. You have no idea. Metal War's not super liked in the community. Is it much better now? Is that what you'd say?
Necessarily called horrendous. Alright guys, it's okay to look at the screen now. After winning, you get all your timepieces back and everything is back to normal. Except now you can get the choice if you can lend her one of the timepieces to help or just leave her. I know this is there to see if you believe in second chances or not, but your choice changes absolutely nothing other than...
Well, the community is not really a thing anymore. Oh, no, I can't believe this. Why is it not a thing? Benjamin H, this is your New Year's resolution, okay? You need to revive the top 10 community, okay? I will be there, okay? I will be there in the top 10 community. All right, I'm done with Mario Kart. I'm gonna do top 10. Top 10s. That's me. That's gonna be me, all right?
A few seconds of animation. Then all the bad guys who helped you save the world beg you not to leave. And it seemed that I really can't tell if it's supposed to be a satire or if it's supposed to actually be a sad scene because Hatkit using a broom to shove them off the spaceship makes it seem like a satire.
List as a top 10.
Other parts, including the music, make it seem like we're supposed to take it seriously. Especially after reading the comments on YouTube videos that showcase this ending. It's just so confusing. I get it, confusing is not the same as bad, but question, you want people to understand what's happening, right? If it's supposed to be a mixture of...
Yes, I think it's very easy to understand what's happening. The only reason she was there was because, wasn't it, the hourglass were missing? So her mission's complete, so now she's gone. Right? Like, so obviously she says, like, oh, I had a lot of fun here, but then she just goes. Like, what did you want, Matt? It's like she had an adventure. This is the first time where like somebody described the game as just really cute, and I agreed. Hand Time is just a really, even Mira said this game is just really cute. Stop over anime. It's just supposed to be a cute little fun little girly baby game, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was a genuinely fun. I'm not into like collectathon style 3D platformers generally, unless it's like Mario, because Mario has seniority. Like your Banjos, he can go to bed. Okay, your Conkers, I don't fuck with Conker. All right, I don't fuck with it. Ukulele, Ukabroki. Okay, I don't fuck with them. But this game is cute. This game was cute. This game was genuinely a cute time, and I would recommend, even though you know the ending, you're not playing the game for the ending. I think the game was still really cute.
Both, then they just cancel each other out and make it even more confusing. And if it's actually supposed to be a satire, then you can't make your audience actually feel bad for these characters. And then, on the end card, the implications of it could imply that this whole game was just a dream.
It was...
adventure.
Bro... So what if someone in bed equals dream? Is that it? What's happening here? What's happening there? Wasn't there something that
you had probably never happened. This probably happened for real and wasn't a dream, but if it was, then it comes close to hurting this amazing game. Maybe if I understand this ending better, I'll probably regret putting this ending on the list, except for the flickering lights.
That kid wasn't a code. Oh, I mean, he needs to make the game theory. He needs to.
But as of now, it's on here.
Spoilers for the Smash Bros. Subspace Emissary. We've all played this, so I don't think anyone's going to really care. Also, why are you beefing with the ending of the Subspace Emissary? What the fuck? What is happening? Why is this even on the list? This is more confusing than fucking Hand Time. But how about old bad habit of analyzing, reading too deep to things? Yeah, I can see that. I'm not really. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy the Chrono Trigger segment since I've not really played Chrono Trigger, but we'll see.
As someone who loves,
I would say if you want the Moresty analysis of the Subspace Emissary ending, I would say it was an ending. You beat the big bad at the end. Fucking amazing. I did think it was a little bit hype how Sonic comes right at the end to stop Taboo from just killing you all over again. I thought that was kind of cool. That was a cool moment. the final boss fight itself was pretty dope. I remember like losing to it a couple times before I won. And I played the game on like I think the normal difficulty. I didn't play on like the easier or the hard ones. It was a good one.
Subspace Emissary, I still have to say that its climax was not very good. Why is that? Well, first of all, the final boss doesn't get enough build-up. He just shows out of nowhere with no foreshadowing whatsoever, and turns everyone into trophies, meaning that we can't have as many...
But you know, everyone does turn into trophies. I've got 5 trophies in this community that I've been gifted by Lily of that Valley. You absolute beauty. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Laser Chicken, Airy Snack Buff, Text, @Deck0, and Luis Angel EM. You guys better say thank you. If they don't say thank you, I will say thank you on their behalf. Thank you so much, Lily of that Valley. So much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Far too kind. Let's we're watching a bit of I don't know if you just joined us, but today we've kind of taken a break from the usual Mario Kart chicanery. We did watch a bit of Kirby, that was fun. We've gone down a rabbit hole. Today it's rabbit hole Saturdays. Okay, that's what we've managed to bump into this video by Meta, who has decided that the ending of the Subspace Emissary was not good. It was not good. Fun fact, Sonic's last minute appearance in Subspace because he was added late in the year. I do know. Oh, see, I knew that, Benjamin. Okay, I have watched the game explained. I've watched Did You Know Gaming on that. Okay, I watched it. I was on my Toon Link. Yeah, I see Benjamin coming at us with the 2013 facts right here. Hey, Benjamin, you need to give me the. Did you know that actually Sonic was added late in development in Super Smash Bros. Bros. Shigeru Miyamoto is quoted saying, even though it wasn't Shigeru Miyamoto, they'll just say Shigeru Miyamoto anyway. Shigeru Miyamoto is quoted saying, "A bad game is eventually bad, but a delayed game is good forever."
First of all, the final boss doesn't get enough build-up. He just shows out of nowhere with no foreshadowing whatsoever, and turns everyone into trophies, meaning that we can't have as many cool character interactions during the finale. Sure, some trophies are revived, and you can revive the other trophies.
I thought that twist was actually pretty cool. I liked it. I actually really like that, honestly. Like, Taboo just comes in out of nowhere and just kills everyone, and DDD, like, it gives DDD a bit of characterization, because, like, you thought he was a bit of a bad fella. But it turns out he was woke all along.
And yeah, those give us 2 interactions between revived characters, but that's it. Also, you know what I love? How Ness, someone who no one knew before the original Smash, is required to be saved, but Mario, the mascot of gaming, is missable.
Welcome back, angry video game nerd. I remember saying this take in the Discord, and while I don't think anyone deliberately like fought me, I think most people just kind of like silently disagreed with me. But CJ Adams, or someone that CJ Adams, I don't know if he's in chat today, he like vehemently disagreed with me when I said like, because what I said was, I think Mario is just a bit of a character. Like as in, he is an avatar that I use to play a Bing Bing Wahoo game. I don't really care about Mario the character. Have I found the second person in my life who really cares about Mario the character? Because it's CJ Adams. Mario profile picture, Mario Discord profile picture. He loves Mario. He's the Mario guy. Is Meta the second Mario guy? Evidently, right? Evidently.
What gives? Then, of course, we have the notorious Great Maze. Now, this level is a guilty pleasure of mine, because it brings back great memories of the Subspace Emissary.
The Great Maze, I think, when I played it the first time, I didn't really like it. But when I replayed the Subspace Emissary, I thought it was kind of neat. I do like the fact that once you've explored, like, I think 90% of the rooms, the game will just straight up tell you where the rest of the bosses are. Even if it's not in a room you haven't seen, you then have to figure out, oh, like, if like they're in this invisible room here, so I gotta like go into this room and see if it leads into that. I do like that. I think that's what made it a lot more tolerable. I think if they didn't show you where the rest of the bosses were afterwards, I think it'd get kind of annoying. Does it pad out the runtime a bit more than it should? Maybe. But I think it works. I think it works as a finale area. I would say so.
But even I think it's lazy that they pretty much had us play through the entire game all over again.
I think it's quite nice because like it adds a little bit of an extra dimension. Like there's a bit of mix up. There's like characters where they shouldn't be. You get to collect the characters again. I think it's a bit. Is it like a reused jumble thing? Yeah, maybe. But like you get to explore and find all the characters. Then like I think there's a bit more going to it. You know, it's like you find bosses, a bit of mix up, collect characters. You know, it's a bit good. I like it.
An intense build up to the final boss fight. The last couple levels before this felt like they do a much better job at building to the climax. Not to mention, in the cutscene before the fight, this marks Sonic's only cutscene appearance in the Emissary, Which I know is because he was put in late in Brawl's development.
So even he knew.
But wouldn't it have made more sense to have him as one of those post-game unlockable characters like Toon Link, Wolf, and Jigglypuff? But as a
Wait, so you're complaining about easily, like, I would say, the most hype moment in the Subspace Emissary? Like, between, like, I would say that easily the two most hype moments were this and, like, when all the characters, like, invade the subspace area, you know, like, all their ships, like, there's what, the fucking Meta Knight ship, there's the fucking Star Fox ship, like, they all just, like, they all swarm the area, and there's, like, a big final assault. Those are, like, the two coolest moments in the Subspace Emissary by a country mile. And you're gonna tell me you hate that? What? So, brother, man. And I can see why he was hated. I can see why he was hated. I hate him too.
final fight bad? Well, no, but it's not really good either. And even after you beat him...
You see, if Meta Knight was the final one, he would have loved it. Man.
You don't get much of an ending, other than the world being restored and everyone's still models looking at the sunset, which is literally just recycled from the intro except slowed down. The ending could have...
Yeah, it's quite, like, it's a nice bookend. It's the intro you've seen, except now you're like, oh, it makes sense. You know? It's like, do you think Meta complains that, like, most credit sequences, like, are mishmashes of, like, all the themes in the game? They're kind of like a medley? Does he also hate that? I've heard all this music before. No, it's like a nice little bookend. And also, did you guys think, I thought it was one of the coolest things ever, how the intro sequence goes on, like, it shows you all the characters you've unlocked. I really like that. So then now when you see this intro sequence in the intro again, you get to see all the characters again. You get to see all the characters in the sunset thing, not just all the ones you've unlocked. I thought it was really cool. Okay, Meta, you're just being a hater.
Much more complete, but instead we just got what a child could come up with. Let's hope Smash Ultimate Subspace Emissary ends on a better note.
Hang on, how many years ago? I think 2018, and assuming we're gonna... Wait, chat, help. Smash 4 was already out at this point, right? Because, like, is him coping and saying Smash Ultimate Subspace Emissary, is it fair for him to say that, or is it like, okay, you're coping? Okay, Smash 4 was already out, okay, thank you. I think surely by 2014, I want to say that we knew we were not getting another Subspace Emissary. Yeah, that's a bit, brother. Like, even when I was hoping for Smash Ultimate, like, we all kind of were like, oh, I hope we get Subspace Emissary 2, but I think we all kind of knew we weren't getting it. We all, nah, it's not happening. Although someone in the chat earlier said World of Light is actually underrated. I would agree with it. I actually agree. That is the correct use of the word underrated. I think World of Light is actually pretty solid. And I think it gets way more shit than it doesn't deserve. I do agree with that.
It's going to have a Subspace Emissary, right? Right?
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, both the movie and the game. A bit overhated, maybe. Yeah, I would say overhated. Maybe not underrated, but overhated. Is this all right if have we got the pass to skip ahead, or should we? You know what? I'm gonna give him a moment. Let's see.
As I've told you before, I have a love-hate relationship with the Game Boy Advance version of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Do you now? I think you're the only person I've ever seen talk about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I didn't even know this was I mean, again, movie. We were talking about movie tie-in games earlier, so it doesn't make sense that Harry Potter got a movie tie-in game. You're really. This is his reoccurring AVGN hated game. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Bit of a weird game to pick, though. He incorporates a lot of licensed games into these videos. You guys remember, like, I'm making a Pokemon video on, like, what's, like, the worst town/city in every Pokemon game. I added a rule where I'm not counting the hometowns because I think that's a bit too easy. It seems to say that Meta doesn't really have a rule against no licensed games, because I feel like that'd be a nice rule to include. Flipenda?
The only reason I have a soft spot for it is because I grew up with it, but I eventually realized that this is a dumb game overall, because they don't explain things as well as the movie did, your potions don't heal you enough, and the finale is terrible.
Is this like the reverse nostalgia? Because, like, if you ask me, hey Moresty, do you think the GBA Finding Nemo game was any good? I'd be like, probably not, but I was a kid when I played it, so I have not nostalgia for it. Like, I feel like when it comes to childhood ruined by... Yeah, I think it's just sad that childhood ruined by over-analyzing. Because, like, I think the perfect example for me is Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure, like as a game, is not that good. But I will defend that game to the death. I will defend that game to the death. Okay, I will eat my slow Amy section slop. I will consume my interesting but rather short E102 Gamma segment. I will have the straightest face of all time as I eat my Knuckles treasure hunting dinner. All right, I will do that. But like, yeah, if someone said it's a shit game, I'm like, it's my childhood though. It's my childhood. It's my childhood. Fuck you. It's my childhood. That's what I'll do. But he's the reverse. He's like, this is your childhood. It's like, yeah, it wasn't that good though. So, no, you stand up for your childhood scrimbler. Okay, everyone has their childhood scrimbler. You have to stand up for them.
The last level is admittedly pretty decent, but there's no reason to split up. You can't go back and buy more potions. Then again,
Yeah.
I'm not sure you would even need that many potions, since the final boss is just a joke.
What's it? Hang on. Go on a sec, sorry.
Not sure you would even need that many potions.
You guys know how I like to do a bit of a southern accent because it's a really funny accent to do. I think my second most favorite accent to do is like the very posh Draco Malfoy adjacent kind of accent.
Since the final boss is
What are you doing here, Potter?
just a
In a hurry to get somewhere?
joke. Instead of having a boss
Stay out of the way, Malfoy.
against Dementors, this game's
What's he
final
doing
boss
here,
is against
Potter?
Draco Malfoy. Great. This sucker is the final boss in the game from a series that's full of unimaginable types of monsters. Also, what the heck is Malfoy even doing here? No, seriously. How in the world did he manage to get up here? As for the fight itself, it's so easy that it's
Easy, the same way that it's easy for me to appreciate Saul's donation. Thank you so much, Saul, for the $2. Would you rather listen to T-Cal's theme? Listen, me and T-Cal's theme have a love-hate relationship, okay? Every time I heard that as a kid, I'd press skip cutscene.
laughable. Despite being probably like triple your predicted level, his attacks do as much damage as most bosses, and he goes down way too quickly. What a wimp! And then, in the end, when you finally save Sirius Black, these bits of dialogue exchange are really dumb. In the actual movie, this felt more emotionally satisfying.
Yeah, because it's a movie and you're playing a GBA. Meta, what are we doing here? Meta, what are we doing here? Were you really running out of... What a win. Meta, are we really running out? Surely there was more you could have done, alright?
But it doesn't feel as good here. We don't even see some of the scenes that would have made this feel like a better ending.
Because it's a fucking phone game. I was about to say it's a fucking phone game, but it might as well be a phone game. It's a fucking GBA game, bro.
And Hermione returning to their old time, saying goodbye to Lupin? I don't think so. As a result, this ending kind of feels somewhat unfinished.
Yeah? Does it now? Alright, so what is with Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's New Island? I mean, I've played Yoshi's Island, but I've not played Yoshi's New Island, and I'm not really too fussed about it being spoiled, so... Are we safe to go into this section? This game sucks. The graphics are nothing like the movie. Do you know what's really sad? Do you know what that reminds me of, Mayro? Do you know, that actually really upsets me. Because I remember one time, I was babysitting my younger cousins, and I was like, oh, let's watch some cartoons. So I did what any fucking millennial does, and I put on some old like 90s, 2000s cartoons. They didn't like it because they said like there's not enough graphics. They actually said that. Well, they didn't say like word for word, but you know what I mean, right? Like they were like, why does it look like it's too dark? I can't see. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. It wasn't oversaturated enough. I was like, oh, fine, watch Paw Patrol. So I'm not saying Meta has the same sensibility as like my 5-year-old cousins. I'm just implying it.
This is going to sound contradictory, but even though I do like Yoshi's New Island, I also kind of wish that it didn't exist. How come? Well, the main reason is because of the intro, which retconned the ending of the original game. Why? But since this is a list about finales, let's skip to the end. The final level overall is actually pretty fun, but once you get to the room before the boss, things start to get ugly.
Yeah.
This room is literally a rehash of the room before the final boss in the original Yoshi's Island, with the auto-scrolling and how Kamek turns blocks into enemies. That's pretty much copy-pasted from the original. So is the fight going to be a rehash too? Unfortunately, yes. Both phases. Now imagine the patheticness of the first phase of the original final boss, except without the unique way of hitting him with ripples in the floor. Instead, we just exit him like normal, without anything else to it. But it gets worse.
It was big
now
mode.
Look at second phase. Does this look anywhere near as intimidating as it did in the original game? Now, I understand he's roughly the same design. Well, the reason this worked so well in the original was because it had darker shading on him to make him look like a real monster. Also, unlike in the first game, which had the suspense of him getting closer and closer and threatening to destroy your platform, now he just stands there trying to shift your platforms, but they never go into the lava. But
Is he gonna... Yeah, I mean, this is one of those ones where I'm just like, fair enough, but it's a remake, so I'm like, I mean, it's kind of a... It's a Yoshi's Island game, bro. Like, they made one good game and just remade it twice, so I'm just like... I don't really care if I'm being honest with you, but pop off, King.
now he just stands there trying to shift your platforms, but they never go into the lava. But it turns out that it's not over after you beat him, because then the future Bowser
Oh my god, Bowser!
straight from out of nowhere, with no build-up whatsoever. But his fight isn't nearly as bad as the fight against Baby Bowser, since at least there's a little bit of suspense here, not to mention some more awesome boss themes. Anyways, after this fight, we get the exact same ending as we did in the original game, as the brothers finally reach their real parents in an, I guess, heartwarming scene.
Do you think he gets angry that Super Mario Maker? Do you think he's angry that Super Mario 2 JP is basically the exact same plot as the original? Do you think he's also angry about that too? I'm just wait. Consistency?
Even still, the first game did this better. At least before this game's intro ruined it. Now you're probably surprised that this is only number 16 on the list, considering last time I ranted about it. Well, after watching some of the Nostalgia Critics reviews, I realized something. Just because something is a horrible ripoff doesn't mean you have to think less of the thing that the ripoff is ripping off. In a way, this actually makes me appreciate the original final boss more when compared with this watered down version of it. This ending's bad.
If you watch his Nostalgia Critic, guys, why am I not shocked? I'm not shocked.
But at least it didn't retcon anything like the intro did, so I can still appreciate the original final boss. Still think this ending stinks.
A back credit card? A back credit card, Mr. Meta. A back credit card. Kingdom Hearts. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna skip the Kingdom Hearts segment, okay? You learned this from the Nostalgia Critic. You didn't know that you don't have to hate things because later things until... Thank you for the 5, Lily. I appreciate that. Well, that's exactly how I feel when Nostalgia Critic fans approach media. It's really a shame that... Yeah, that's just like... It's like, I don't know... If I'm being nice, Musty, for a second. Like, obviously, everyone's ability to, like, analyze media, like, works in different rates. I was not always as good at analyzing, like, video games. I'll say video games, not media. I'll say good at video games, analyzing video games now, as I was, like, when I was younger. And I guess if I did make videos 10 years ago, they might come across as this. But, like, I don't know, really. It's just, like... You had to have an online reviewer, man, tell you. I don't know, man. It's just like there's something about that. Does that make sense? I'm just like, Nostalgia Critic had to teach you that you don't have to hate things as much as you think. It's just a weird line to hear. Like it's like Mirror. It's just a weird line to hear, isn't it? That like online review man taught you that. I'm like, okay, very strange, very strange. But hey, man, we all learn at different paces. But yeah, I don't think I'd have much to add on a Kingdom Hearts segment, so I'm gonna go ahead and just skip ahead. Tigger's done another fucking shovelware game? What are we doing here? So let's go back to the back credit card, okay?
I've talked about Tigger's Honey Hunt a couple times in the past.
Who's Honey Hunt? You better be careful with your words there, Mr. Met. I'll be listening, okay? I'll be listening very, very carefully, Mr. Met, okay?
That I don't think anyone's talked about in the Countdown community aside from me, and probably for good reasons.
Yeah, so what? Don't get me wrong, I'm like, is it nice to have, like, you know, YouTube is a platform for everyone. Everyone can talk about video games that they see fit. But yeah, in your top 10 least video game finales, if you are going to mention a shovelware game as Tigger's Honeypot, I'm expecting like this ending to be like wholly calamitous. Does that make sense? Like, it's not the fact that you're covering a game like this. It's the fact that you're covering a game like this, and based on your previous coverings of games, sorry, the Harry Potter one in particular, I have zero confidence, Mr. Meta, that you're going to convince me that this is worth bringing up. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? But let's go.
It's kinda kiddie, and the stakes are pretty low, but at least it has charm to it. And even though the final level is pretty much just a rock, paper...
Hang on, I'm sorry. Besides, it's Winnie the Pooh. What you expect, a Star Wars-like story? Yeah, so why is it in your top 10 least video game finales then? You just contradicted. Was that like the two sides of his brain fighting in real time? Like, Meta's like, Arrested Development. I hate Tigger's honey pot game. And then like the 25-year-old man that's lingering beneath. No, Meta, we have to get a job, Meta. We have to watch Breaking Bad. No, we have to interact with media our own age. No, Meta, no. You just won't do it. There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much. Spoilers. No, not spoilers. One unusual sentence indeed, honestly. Oh man, what a strange video. After this toddler again, there's gonna be Silent Hill 2. I hope so, honestly, I really do.
Has charm to it. And even though the final level is pretty much just a rock, paper, scissors game, I can't really be mad at it since you wouldn't expect a game with this to have a huge climax. But that doesn't excuse what they do after all the trouble you've gone through.
Okay.
So, throughout the game, Tigger is on a big journey looking for honeypots for Pooh's party, and what do we get rewarded with?
I tried to help collect more pots, but he ate them all up already. So now, we don't have any for the party.
Please tell me I didn't hear what I thought I heard. This game is honestly telling us that we did all of that hard work, spending hours searching the entire 100-acre wood for nothing. Even as a kid, this made me mad. Finding that all our work was in vain. Even if a game is kiddie, you have to make your kids feel like they actually accomplished something. Oh, but it's all okay in the end, since Christopher Robin just tells you that he has the solution to the problem by having a party like normal. So, that should make your kids feel better? No. No, it doesn't. Because we still went on a long journey for nothing. It's no wonder I haven't seen this appear in any time.
Yeah, but even if we put it through the lens of a kid, like, a kid is just going to appreciate that everyone got to have fun anyway. Like, Mira, I'm reaching that point to say, I can't do this. Like, as a kid, you don't really have, like, I feel like if you're a kid, right, and yeah, technically, even though you played a game and you tried to do something, you couldn't do the thing, as long as it was like, oh, we did the thing, like, everyone's having fun, and it's like, surely, I think a kid can understand that, oh, they're having fun, you know, they're still having fun, so who really cares, you know? Who really cares?
Top 10 list aside from my own. Doki Doki should be ashamed of themselves for this ending, because this is not how you'll end off a game that helps to shape someone's childhood.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, exactly. Like, you'd be like, oh yeah, classic Winnie the Pooh. That's just like him. And then like you just move. It's just like you're a grown ass man. Him writing the script for this. I think Tigger's Honey Pot is one of the worst games ever made. Again, the 26-year-old that's dying to come out. No! Meta, no! Meta, please! We have to go out to a bar and try and talk to some people, please! No! Oh, hang on, that gamers. He's made the terrible, calamitous error of stumbling into my territory. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I will be there. No matter what. Yeah, what's the link between this and Toy Story? We need to figure this out.
The Pokemon Rescue Team games could have had a great ending. It's set up to be a huge tearjerker. After all the time you spent with your new friends, it's time for you to get your old life back and become human again, and say goodbye to all your friends that you've met throughout the game. It makes them really sad to see you go, but you have to. This is so beautiful! I can barely contain myself. Wait, what's going on? Oh no. Please tell me that you are not serious. You're having the character decide to stay as a Pokemon forever? Thanks a lot, game. You just destroyed what could have been an emotionally charged ending. Chunsoft, you are going in the direction of a near-perfect sad moment, but instead you...
So, okay. Gameplay-wise, what did you expect them to do? What, like, you go back to being a human, and then the game just cuts to black and that's it? First, so on a gameplay perspective, it just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for that to happen. And then, secondly, like, the whole idea is that you were such a game-changing force in this world, and you impacted so many lives that the powers that be of this universe decided to send you back. And it seemed like you, as the player character, had more fun in that world anyway. So it's like it kind of works out better for everyone. Why would you go back when you enjoyed your time with your friends so much. Do you know what I mean? Like, you had such an impact on so many people and helped so many things happen. And it's like, yeah. And you, the player, the person playing the game, and the Pokemon in the game, the character, wanted to stay as a Pokemon. So it's like, so both story-wise and gameplay-wise, it would just make no sense. If anything, this is probably the best way they could have done it, because yeah, the game would have to continue, so they made it logically make sense. Everything, even though your existence in this world is unnatural, the powers that be decided, you know what? You interacted so strongly with this world and changed so many people's lives around you. We will keep you here, all right? Because we love that, right? And even Alpha noticed this. What the hell? If Alpha's noticing this, he's a beta, that's why. I do like the ending diverts in some of the games that were super mystery. Yeah, I mean, if the ending wanted to change, sure, but I think for the first mystery dungeon game, I think it's fine, you know? It makes more sense to explore as a Sky, I will admit, as otherwise you wouldn't exist if you didn't come back. But yeah, this is the best end. This isn't a bad ending. This isn't really a bad ending. Like, is the impact of the ending maybe soured a little bit? Maybe, but Mel.
Decided, nah,
Mel, what are you doing?
Great idea.
Mel, what are you doing, lad?
Why don't you tell us that all the toys left Bonnie's house to go back to Andy's at the end of Toy Story 3? Yes, the game...
This is definitely nostalgia critic coded. Definitely. Thank you so much, Saul, my ninja. So the reason why the hero wanted to be a Pokemon against because after what you've been through and your friend crying, yeah, exactly. That's how it works. Yeah, thank you so much, Saul. Thank you so much. That's exactly how it works. Yeah, like you went through so much together. They were like, okay, that's fine. So I don't really think that's a compare. I don't really think that's the same comparison because next you know that I don't think that even works. I don't think that even. Because, like, Andy's grown up in there. Him giving the toys away works. That's it. There is no logical reason why they would go back to Andy. Because Andy's had enough of them. There is a reason why you as the player character would go back. Firstly, on a gameplay front, you want to keep playing the game. But narratively, again, you impacted the Pokemon of this world so strongly that the powers that be sent you back. So you threw in a Toy Story spoiler for what? For what, lad? Metal. Oh no! It's a 6-year-old video, so, you know, fair enough. Maybe you've learned. Metal, what's happening, lads? What's happening?
States that your new friends will be miserable forever without you. Well, guess what? A true friend would understand your reasonings and let you go. And here's my next problem with it. It says that if you get separated from your friends and family and another good family decides to take you in, and then when you finally have the chance to go back to your real parents and your real friends, you should just stay with your adopted ones and leave your old parents worried sick that you might be dead. That's one of the
It's a Pokemon game. Thinking about it a bit too much there. Bit too much. Just like we will be thinking very strongly about Lily gifting another membership. Yo, let's go. Have a good one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for gifting another membership to Petco's son. I'll say thank you on his behalf. Thank you so much for that. I'll see you later, man. Have a good weekend. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Worst morals I've ever heard in a video game.
The worst morals ever in a video game. What is happening right now? Oh my god. Who's to say that the Pokemon you play as isn't a grown adult who can make their own decisions? That's a possibility, right? And then what? Are we really getting into like the weeds of like? Sorry. Do you know what? Meta would like to see that one. No, hang on. Meta would love to see that moment where like you wake up, you know, like you wake up in the house every morning in your Pokemon game. You're like, okay, you gotta, okay, 1 sec, Cyndaquil. We're gonna go to the Pelipper post office, but firstly, honey, why do you call me the word 6? Sorry, Mom, you know, just doing Pokemon War stuff. But you gotta come back, it's Thanksgiving. Honey, I don't know if I can get Alakazam to teleport me home, Mom. I don't know. Well, he's gonna have to dinner, honey. Your father's gonna be there. Oh. I don't even want to talk to Father. He never accepted my decision to be a Pokemon. Oh, come on, son. You know he's going to be... All right, Mom, I'll think about it. I gotta go. Okay, bye. Did he just want that scene in the game? Is that what he wanted? And then he would have been like, oh, do you know what? Okay, this is fine. This is fine. It's a fucking Pokemon game, bro. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Thank you so much again, Saul. Thank you so much. Fuck yeah, hey. I want to add more, but this applies to all the PMD games, since each game made the hero feel like I'm... Yeah, exactly. Like, most of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I think all of them, if I'm not mistaken. I've not played all of them. I played, like, 1, 2, and I played a bit of Super. I think all of them kind of involve you, like, waking up as a Pokemon all of a sudden, yeah. I guess we could have a middle ground where they come back and forth. That would be kind of cool. It would be, but like, I don't think them not having that ruins this game. Does that make sense? I think to say least favorite ending when it was a simple case of you just overthinking is insane. You know, if the game even hinted at that, like, oh, isn't your mom going to be sick or something? And like, yeah, fair enough. Maybe you could mention that, but like, that kind of sours my thoughts on the ending. This player character was a person in the real world. But since the game doesn't reference that, I think it's fair to say that they don't really care. It's fine.
Yes. It's sad to say goodbye to your friends, but it's either your old friends who are worried about you, or your new friends who know that you're alright.
Yeah, but like, who's to say that you weren't a loner in the past life? Who's to say that? You know? The reason why people are really sad that you see Ingo in PLA is because we know that Ingo had a brother who he ran a facility with in Unova. So when you see him in PLA, you're like, oh, you kind of got thrown back in time here. Is your brother okay? Does your brother know you're here? I'm so sorry for you, brother. But like in this game, we like who knows? Do you know? Who knows? Like, what are we doing here? Fail sniper. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the first super chat ever, brother. I appreciate that. I was saying worst morals in a video game. Listen, you're gonna have to catch up with a VOD fail sniper. There's some craziness. There's some craziness. You know what they say about assuming, man? Yeah, it makes an ass out of you and me, brother. That's what it does.
I've heard a defensive argument saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. Every game in the series does that.
Yes.
Well, you know what? That actually makes this worse.
Does it?
Doing this once is bad enough, but now everyone has to put up with this mood killer and terrible moral repeated through the entire Mystery Dungeon series. If this went in the other direction, this probably would have rivaled the number 3 entry of my saddest video game moments list for saddest Pokemon moment. But instead, the only sad part is that they ruined a great ending. If you like it, you're not wrong to your opinion, but please try to understand.
No, you are wrong with your... I'll say it with mine. You are wrong with your opinion. I'll just straight up tell you, lad. See, that's what you get with the Sir Moresty stream, okay? I will tell you if your opinion is wrong. And your opinion is wrong, man. Your opinion is the wrongest thing I've ever seen, okay? It's wrong. Spoilers for Metroid Zero Mission. Again, he made the calamitous error. Why is Daffy Duck making a Pokemon? Be nice, gentlemen, okay? Only I get to be mean. Shut up. The ending of Metroid Zero Mission? What? So just to clarify, the ending of that game is literally how every Metroid game ends. Something explodes and you go into your ship and leave. That's the ending. It's the ending of every Metroid game. Like the Zero Mission, you're probably thinking, oh, is Zero Mission different? Did they like deviate? No, it's literally... If anything, I think Zero Mission is probably one of my favorite ones because the game ends, again, spoilers for a game in 2004, but you're not really playing it for the cutscenes, although I am because I like Metroid lore. You're about to leave at the end of the original Metroid, but they added Zero Mission content where you're about to leave, the space pirates shoot you down, you have to infiltrate one of their bases to steal their ship, and get another power suit because like your one got destroyed in the crash. So there's this really cool stealth segment where you get to play as Zero Suit Samus, which is where Zero Suit Samus comes from. It's probably one of my favorite set pieces in a video game. Top 10 set piece. I'm doing the video now. I am welcome back the top 10 community.
A part of me really wants to hate Metroid Zero Mission, but at the same...
You are just wrong. This is one of my favorite games to go back and replay. What are you I love Metroid Zero Mission. Jesus Christ, you have stumbled upon the wrong domain here, Meta, okay? When you're talking about Kingdom Hearts, I'll let you have that because I've never played Kingdom Hearts. You're not talking about my goat Samus, okay? She's my goat, okay? If I could fuse 6 video game women, it'd be Samus, and Samus, okay? Fuck you, Meta. But thank you to Randolph Eagle once more, brother. Your wallet's bombless, brother. Thank you so much. Zero Mission and Samus Returns are also remakes of Metroid 1 and 2. Why not list those two? Yeah, like, why specifically the remix? It's very strange, right? We need someone to join you in top 10 in. Guys, for my number 6 spot, I'm going to call upon one of my good friends, someone I've never met before, but I'm going to say that for the parasociality. I want to meet one of my good friends, Benjamin Mage. Take it away, Benj.
At the same time, I feel like that would be unjustified. It pretty much does everything.
Well, it's almost
better than the
5.
first Metroid.
You're right, it is almost 5. Okay, we'll do this one and we'll skip around, okay? Because it's getting late, chat. But I don't want to miss peak.
Did. And the closest thing to a justifiable reason for me to hate the game is this unbelievably boring final level. So, after a terrible boss fight against Mother Brain, and successfully escaping from Turin...
A terrible boss fight? Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like the most... It's not my favorite Metroid boss fight, but terrible? I think it does something unique in that, like, it's more so the environment that's causing you to, like... causing you trouble than the actual character itself. I wouldn't say it's terrible, though. That's some crazy accusation.
Your mission is complete. Or so you thought.
Yeah.
The space pirates now shoot down your starship, causing you to crash into Chozodia, and your power suit is ruined. So now you can play as Zero Suit Samus in the stealth mission.
Yeah, so one of my favorite segments in any video game. You guys know if I'm a sucker for beach music in video games, I am also a sucker for stealth missions. I love stealth missions. If any game has... My favorite Wonder Flower power-up was when you got to turn into a Goomba. You had to, like, run inside bushes to avoid getting gobbled up by those fake Clodsires.
Now, the idea of losing all your abilities and having to resort to hiding is actually kind of a neat idea.
It is the most fun mechanic any video game can do, but that's just my bias showing. I love stealth segments in video games. I'm gonna be honest, I love them.
Awesome about the fear
Hitman,
of not being
Dishonored,
spotted by far
I will be there no
stronger
matter
enemies that
what.
can kill you quickly. How about we make it not feel all that suspenseful? Compared to the times where you have to hide from the SAX in this franchise's last major attempt at stealth missions, the music that plays in the mothership sounds kind of bland and generic. Hiding from the space pirates also feels somewhat tedious, especially since sometimes you think you're out of the line of sight, only for them to suddenly attack you. And on the hardest difficulty...
Yes! That's what makes it even more tense. You think you're going to be safe here, he crawls in and you're like, stun, run away. Yes! That's what makes a good stealth segment a good stealth segment. When you think you're safe and it turns out you're not and you have to keep looking around until you're safe. You don't know. If you know when you're safe 100% of the time, the stealth becomes predictable and boring. Are we tweaking right now, man? What are you doing, blood? And also, you picked one of the worst... The power of editing, chat. Remember, you can gaslight an entire audience with the power of difficulty. In this game, they established relatively quickly that the space pirates can go into caverns like this. So, even, like, you should know that you cannot hide in here. He will see you. They've established that the only way you can truly hide from them is either running away far enough for them to be out your sight, or finding one of those, like automatic walls that come down, because obviously they can't open those. Those are the only ways you can avoid them. The game establishes this relatively quickly. You're just wrong. He's just wrong.
Only for them to suddenly attack
you. You weren't outside. You can see you crawl under there. Object permanence. Oh, what are you doing, lads?
And on the hardest difficulty, some of the save points are blocked off. There's a fine line between...
Yes! On the hardest... That's why they call it the hardest difficulty, Meta. Because you play it on the hard... Me when hard mode is actually hard. What are we doing here, lads? What are we doing here?
Difficulty and cheap difficulty. The save points are...
No? Cheap? No. Listen, I am the biggest critic of stealth. If a stealth segment is shit, I will say it's shit. This is a good one. You're just wrong.
Now spaced too far apart, making this level even more repetitive than it already was to begin with. Then we get our next boss fight against Chozo Warrior Engraving. This one is far from fun because you have to shoot the mirror when the human symbol appears. When it has you on it, you take damage. Sometimes he changes it to you 1 microsecond before your laser hits it.
Skill issue? Okay, we can say it, guys. This is just a skill issue. Jesus Christ. Like, this is unreal behavior.
Onto the floor, jumping to dodge them won't help because you'll just end up jumping into him and taking damage. The only good thing about this fight is the music. Eventually, you finally get your power...
It's not... Miro, what the fuck? Hang on. I gotta get the soundboard ready for this one. Miro, you are unbelievable. Miro's having a fucking field day today, more than I am. Hang on. Oh, there's a difficulty saying in this? Could you maybe play a setting close to his comfort level? Or did the nostalgia critic not teach him that yet? Jesus Christ. Leave him alone. That was my Jesus Christ. Oh my God. That is brilliant. That was fun. No, don't apologize. That was fine. Don't worry. I just wasn't expecting that from you. I was expecting that maybe from someone else, but not you. You can get like mean, but not like that was like you can get like this mean, but like I've never seen you get like this mean before. That was like a shock to the system. Jesus.
Suit back, and soon after, you reach the fight against Ridley Robot. It's not as bad as Mother Brain or the Chozo Warrior engraving, but this boss had little to no build-up. I will appreciate how they finally had a boss be a Ridley figure, and even then, it's no longer...
Oh, is he one of those? Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm of the opinion that... Okay, do I like it when Ridley appears in my Metroid game? Yes. Do I think Ridley is like a tiny bit overused? Yes. So like the fact that this guy's like, I really wanted more Ridley. There's Ridley's. I'm just like, I like Ridley. I think Ridley's like he's good. I like Ridley. But if a Metroid game did not have Ridley in it, but still had as many compelling bosses, I would be okay with that. I would be more than okay with that.
Unique in that regard.
It's why I like Ravenbeak so much. I fucking love Ravenbeak. Fucking one of the best bosses ever made.
13 years later, we got the real Ridley as the final boss, which had no build-up, but at least it was more inspiring than this. Not to mention, Ridley Robot goes down with only 6 super missiles. I'm not even mad at that. That's just laughable. But he does get more health if you got all the power-ups, but that makes this fight completely dull, since 80% of this fight is you just space jumping against the wall, avoiding attacks. Then we have the escape mission, which I'd have no complaints about if it weren't for the gauntlet of stronger space powers at the end. They're actually harder than...
So wait, what's going on here? So you complain that the Meta Ridley fight was easy, which in fairness is a little too easy, especially for that stage in the game where you have like all the power-ups. But then you're not happy about that. But then these guys are tough apparently. It's like... This is probably one of my more favorite escape sequences because I think in also, especially the original Metroid, I was extremely guilty of this. Their idea of difficulty in an escape sequence was to have you do like these really fine, precise jumps, you know? This is probably one of the better ones where like it's not you doing fine, precise jumps. It's you're against the clock against some very strong enemies that fit this level in the game because you have almost every power-up at this point. The Mecha Ridley boss didn't account for that fact as well enough as I would like, as he said, but that also didn't. So at least when we watched Zombie Catcher 16's Mario Kart tier list, right, he ranked the tracks he can play very well highly. He was very consistent, right? Not the best analysis, but at least he was very consistent in his wrong analysis. If track easy, I like. If track hard, I don't like. This guy's like, if game easy, I hate. If game hard, I hate. What do you like, Meta? Okay, do you want to play Tigger's Honeypot again? Is that what you want to do? Again, the 50-year-old inside him going, no, please, we have to grow up. We have to interact with adult media. We have to interact with media more of our skill set. Please, no.
On the final boss. Once again, I can't hit a whole game because of one bad level, but
and yet it's in this video. Crazy.
I have more fun memories of the game if the ending wasn't so bland.
The ending was fantastic. All right, we will skip to the end because it's past 5 o'clock. Jesus. I'm going to have to take the train then. Okay, I'll take the train today. It's fine. A bit more expensive, but hey, I got enough super chats. You guys funded my train ride. We will get to... Is it number 1, yeah? Is it this one? Is it this one? Number 1? Well, where's the Chrono Trigger one? Is there a Chrono Trigger one? Because we get into... This is the Metroid one. And then get to Zelda. Where's Chrono Trigger? The ending is... It's Mario Luigi Dream Team. Chrono Trigger's number 1. This is number 1. You lied to me, Benja.
Oh great, the number 1 entry on one of my negative countdowns involves Bowser. This will definitely end well considering last time this happened.
Okay. Okay, chat, help me. When did Dream Team come out? I could look it up, but I want you guys to do the work for me. I'm lazy. I'm very lazy. When did Dream Team come out? 2013? 2018. I was going to say, I'm going to accuse him of doing the thing. Do you know the thing that everyone does? Recent thing bad, thing before was better. But at this point, Paper Jam was out, if I'm not mistaken, right? So surely Paper Jam is the bad one, and then Dream Team has to be the... So like the narrative... So I can't even blame the narrative of the time. Does that make sense? I can't even like give him a pass of the narrative at the time. I can't even do that. So he has no excuse for this. So, and Superstars DX was out. So I can't even give him a pass of Dream Team just came out. People were reeling that it's not as good as Bowser's story. I can't even give him like a... I can't even be nice and give him a pass. This isn't even a case of new game bad. He thought about this. In the same way that Cast One was very thoughtfully Just had to fund my train with an extra 2 Canadian. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll take the train. High-speed train. Very expensive.
I better get
But
the
works.
anti-Bowser fanboy repellent on and hope it works.
Hang on, hang on.
Anyway, time this happened, of countdowns involves Bowser. This will definitely end well considering last time this happened. I better get the anti-Bowser fanboy repellent on and hope it works.
You guys know how I feel about, oh, the comments. The comments are going to be so... Arrgh. You know how I feel about those. I do on occasion, but I always think it's a bit when people do it. But my favorite line of all time might be, I'm going to have to put my anti-Bowser repellent on. Guys, I'm going to have to put... Next time I talk about beach music... Yeah, now I have my beach music hater repellent on, guys, so you guys can't hate me. I'm rubber your glue, so it bounces off me and sticks on you. Oh, it sticks on you.
Anyways, Mario and Luigi Dream Team. One of the most wasted Mario games in the world because it had so much potential, and yet it squandered it. Probably the...
I don't know what you mean by this. Again, the only thing that I hate about Dream Team is the thing that Mario and Luigi series of the past seem to do a lot of, which is the over-tutorialization. And this game was definitely the worst of it.
The worst part of the game is its finale. The final level is Neo Bowser Castle. Even though Antasma is this game's signature villain, they still have to have him get overshadowed by Bowser throughout the whole game. The finale is probably...
Yes, it's a nice little twist of fate. I think even they fourth wall break and say, you thought I was going to get overshadowed this time? I didn't even fourth wall break it. Which, it's a bit like, but still, I thought it was a cool boss.
First example of this. This is Bowser's castle, and aside from these Nightmare Thorn things, it doesn't really feel like an Antasma castle. Even the enemy selection is
Yeah, because it's not his castle, it's Bowser's castle.
There are like 10 Bowser enemies and only 2 Antasma enemies. Also, you fight Kamek 3 times, each one not feeling that much different from the previous fight, except for when he clones himself, and when he gets this broom attack that even a 3rd grader could dodge with no problem. The level
that fight was actually decently tough. So, again, I don't get it. It's like, if easy equals bad, hard equals bad, what are we doing here, man? I thought that Kamek fight, the final one, Kamek. I thought that Kamek fight at the end was actually quite tough. I really enjoyed it. I think that was probably my favorite fight other than the final boss. I really like that Kamek fight.
itself gets stalled too. While it had some nice moments, do you want to know how long this level takes? Take a guess. 4 hours. Even though
4 hours!
So
oh shit, I pressed the wrong thing, no. 4 hours! Damn, we got fucking a perturbed Pedro over here. The knockoff version of Angry Joe.
And throughout it, you're pretty much doing the same thing you've done throughout the rest of the game. Most of it, which has already gotten dull by this point, considering the amount of pointless padding in Dream Team. There's also the atrocious...
Pointless padding? You mean the game? Me when the final gauntlet in my game is more game.
Fight against Giant Bowser, which if you saw my least favorite bosses revision that I made a couple months ago, you'd know that I can't stand how predictable and insulting his attacks are, and how the bumper car section of the fight has slippery controls that make Rise of Lyrics controls look precise. And
God, this is just boring. This is so, was this the Benjamin? Was this really the quality of the community? This is so boring. This is so... It's either it's too hard, therefore it's bad. It's too easy, therefore it's bad. This is so boring. Oh my God. What is happening here? This is boring. This is why I quit Mario Kart reactions. All right, this is the reason, because it was boring. I'm quitting top 10 reactions because this is boring. This is unbelievable, unbelievable. Like, okay, it's every moment. Firstly, it's that you're playing a losing battle. Is every moment of every video game really fine-tuned perfectly? No, but you'd like to think that on average it tunes out relatively well enough for your skill set, as long as you played it on the right difficulty and are playing the right games, not Tigger's Honey Hunt or whatever the fuck it was, right? I would say, as somebody who played this game relatively recently, I think I played it like 2 years ago at this point, yeah, the giant fights are probably some of my favorite fights in the series. Other than maybe the early ones where like it's still trying to teach you how to play it, but like the Zkeeper one and the fucking Bowser one, I fucking love these fights, man! They're so good! He's just hating.
eventually you reach Antasma and Bowser, and we get one of the worst plot twists in the series. It is revealed that this whole time, Bowser was the main villain. We could have had this game's
Yeah, see, look, you thought you were using me?
antagonist be an awesome Bat King of Nightmares, but nope. Instead, it's the same villain who's always been the main villain. before you argue that, oh, it would have been too predictable. Sometimes it's better to be predictable than to have an anticlimactic ending, because at least predictable endings can still be intense at times. The fight against...
You're just boring. Bowser, relatively speaking, so just like no one's played Mario and Luigi games, I guess spoilers, but Bowser, in the previous games in the series, Bowser gets played for the fiddle. In basically every other past game. So this is the first time Bowser was like, no, fuck you. I am the fiddler and you are the fiddle, and I'm gonna craft you a symphony of your death. I was like, what? Me? How could you? Blah. And then he dies. It's great.
Phantasma was good, well, except for him eating the orbs, which just looked dumb. But everything else is even more proof that Phantasma should have been the final boss. A majority of Phantasma's moves look absolutely evil, especially when he traps you in a nightmare where you might have to put up with torture chambers. So, what does...
You like torture chambers, huh? I'm just taking notes, man. I'm just taking notes.
Bowser give us? Well, he has a dream stone that grants all his wishes, but then Peach and Starlo are forced to destroy it using these laser beams. Could it be Peach actually does something useful? Maybe that could make up for her once again being kidnapped. I wish. But it doesn't matter. Bowser just inhales the Dreamstone's fragments to absorb its power, thus ruining the only useful thing Peach did in the entire game.
Again, I thought that was a decently good plot twist, because Bowser uses a power-up that you used yourself as him in Bowser's Inside Story! Wow! Crazy!
And what does Bowser do with this source of awesome power? He decides to play the flip a coin game, cover his head, summon multicolored versions of his lousy minions, and the best part, eating a bunch of meat in the middle of the fight. But that's how he healed in the last game. I don't care. It still ruins the suspense of the battle. Now I know how the people who...
Me when Bowser eats. Oh no, Bowser don't eat.
Fought Jasper Bat Jr. feel. And the fight itself is just downright cheap, with how long it takes to beat his minions to get him out of the background as he continues to ruin the mood of the fight. The admittedly epic music actually makes me hate this battle even more because of how insulting it is to hear a theme this epic being wasted on the dumbest final battle ever. After the fight, it seems like the Dreamstone might be able to be restored, except it's restored as coins, because you can use them to make your dreams come true or something. So, can everyone still dream in the Pillow King?
That was a really funny... No, Mason, that's the joke! Because, okay, so the Zkeeper, you know that big bird? He's like the Zkeeper, right? He was like supposed to be like the legendary guy that defends the Dreamstone, right? But like it's kind of like seen that like Zkeeper kind of like again he's hyped up as this guy, like yeah, like he's the guy, he's the legendary guy. But then when you meet him, he's just kind of like a, what do you punks want? Hero? Me? I'm retired. Leave me alone, you fucking chumps. Like, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like, yeah, so like at the end when he goes, where's the Dreamstone? I'll give you some money because it makes your dreams come true. Leave me alone. You know, like that's the kind of attitude he has. He definitely has like a bit of that sort of attitude about him, you know? So I'm like, how did you miss the point? Like, it made perfect sense for his character to make that kind of joke and just fly off. Well, no, Messer, no. What are you doing? You're trying to get in the video.
Or is this one of those stupid metaphorical things?
You just... The adult in him trying to break out. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. It's in your name. It's in your name. Watch Breaking Bad. Stop playing baby games.
I'm hoping for the former, but whether it's the former or latter, that doesn't change the fact that I personally think this is the worst finale in any game I've played.
Worse than Tigger's Honey Hullabaloo, yeah? Crazy. I
am Matter527 II, and Dream Team is my new least favorite Mario and Luigi RPG game.
Really? Guys, raise your hands up in the air. It's cinema. Absolute cinema. Cinema, thy name is meta. Man, this was your go. This was your go, Benjamin H. This was your go. This was your community. This was your community. You looking behind me and me peering back. Hey, listen, we don't talk about Switch slop, okay? We don't talk about Switch slop. Leave him alone. Listen, we don't talk about him. Okay? We don't talk about him. Either way. Cinema. Absolute cinema. All right.